Good evening. The Concord Township Board of Zoning Appeals meeting for October 2019 is now in session. I would like to introduce my board. To my left is Skip Sweeney and Brandon Dines. I'm Ivan Valentic. To my right is Todd Golding and Blair Hamilton. To our far right is Heather Freeman, our zoning inspector. This evening, under the advice of our legal counsel, we ask that anyone speaking tonight must be sworn in. If you plan on speaking, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help me God. If so, say I do.
I do.
Thank you. Please be seated. When presenting your case and commenting, please come up to the microphone and also state your name and address for the record, okay? Heather, were the legal notices published in a timely manner?
Yes, they were.
All right, thank you. We have 2 variances tonight, and we have some old business. A 3-vote majority is required to either approve or deny a variance. First, for old business is appeal number 2018-41. Mr. Randy Viviani of 7757 Concord LLC is requested that appeal be postponed until next month. So we're going to table that and continue that table and see when that comes back. And hopefully get that resolved sometime soon. Then for new business, we have variance number 2019-51. Ms. Cynthia M. Albert is requesting a variance from section 34.04A1 to allow 6-foot-high fence in the front yard in lieu of the maximum 4-foot for the property located at 7220 Morley Road. Please come up and present your case.
First, thanks for having us today. My name's John Albert, my wife Cindy. We're at 7220 Morley Road.
And you've been sworn in, sir?
I have.
Thank you.
The variance we're asking for, it's pretty much, I outlined it in the application for the variance. And simply we're asking for 6-foot white vinyl fence as opposed to 4-foot. I personally consider the fence on the sideline, but technically I believe that because it's the front of the house to Morley, it's considered the front yard. So for that portion, again, we're asking from 6-foot to 4-foot. There's no impede on any safety forces. There's no sightline issues on Morley Road, whether you're coming from the east or the west. The fence is perpendicular to Morley. So technically, or not technically, it only affects 2 properties that abut us. And for those properties, it's their very backyard. And if it were their fence in the same exact spot, it would not require a variance. Took some pictures.
And really quick, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I want to just put into the record for the meeting, we did receive an email from Richard Peterson on Friday, October 4th, sent to Heather in regards to this variance. In the letter, Rich and Janet are supportive of your variance in their neighboring property.
Oh, thank you.
And this will be entered into the record.
Appreciate that. I don't know who they are, but tell them thanks. But I did take some pictures. It's kind of hard to see from here. If you wanted to see them, I could put them on the easel, or if you wanted to pass them around, it might be a little easier. And it's simply, what I tried to show was that the fence basically only affects the 2 properties whose backyard it abuts to. So you can do it either way, whatever's easier for you. If you wanted to take a look at it, if you don't want to take a look at it.
Well, you went through the trouble, yeah. Put it on the easel for us.
Let's look at it.
Yeah, thank you.
So clockwise, I try to coordinate the aerial view that Heather gave us. So picture number 1 would be over here, and that starts to vary, which would be the west southern end of the property. So going around, just wanted to try to show that the property really does only affect those 2 backyards. So you can see in here, and this is the very back, and then the far right side of the property is just open land in the pond.
And that fence only extends for a portion of the property line.
It does. It's a total of about 150 feet. About 100 feet would be what would be considered, per your guidelines, the frontage of the house. The rest would be considered a sideline up to the front of the house.
Any other questions from the board? Skip?
Uh,
Go for it.
Where is your front porch?
Our front porch faces Morley Road entirely.
Okay.
So our front porch would run parallel to Morley Road. The fence runs perpendicular to Morley Road.
Okay, thank you.
The pictures are helpful. I went and drove by the other day and took a look. I see why you did what you did, and
I mean, what we did was basically, it comes down to a maintenance issue. We've been there for 28 years. Those trees, we replaced them a number of times, and it's like, it's a no-win situation. So we decided with the landscaper that probably the best alternative in the long run would be to do the fence.
Blair, Todd, any other questions? You good, Skip? You, thank you. You can be seated.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. With that, is there anyone else speaking for or against that appeal that would like to come up? Okay, so if there's no further questions, a public hearing for variance number 2019-51 is now closed to the public. Can I get a motion to approve variance 2019-51?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Open for discussion on the board. I don't really have anything to add. I think it makes sense to put the fence there. I see what they're trying to do. I think it's a no-brainer.
I would agree.
Yeah, this is largely due to the orientation of the home and relationship to Morley, so I
Yeah,
don't see a problem.
yeah. I'm sure the neighbors appreciate it themselves, so. Okay. There's no other comments or discussion. The question is the approval of variance number 2019-51. A yes vote approves the variance. A no vote denies it. Heather, please call the vote.
Mr. Hamilton?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes?
Mr. Dines?
Yes.
Mr. Bowling?
Yes.
And Mr. Valente?
Yes. Congratulations, your variance has been approved. Thank you. You guys can grab your board and you guys can leave if you would like. It's a pretty nice board. We like when people put in the effort.
Thanks very much, appreciate it.
Thanks.
Take care.
Thanks.
Next is variance number 2019-52. Hertz Corporation is requesting a variance from section 22.03, table of uses to permit an automotive rental facility to be located at 9670 Mentor Avenue. The property is owned by Concord Investment Company and is located in the B1 Restricted Retail District. Please come forward and present the case.
My name is Robert Redmond. I'm a commercial real estate broker and actually the Ohio principal broker for Moore MOHR Partners based in Dallas, Texas.
And you were sworn in this evening, sir?
I was sworn in.
Okay, and can you just state your address for the record, too?
My business address is 812 Huron Road, Suite 315, Cleveland, Ohio, 44115.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Just for background information, I got moved here by IBM in 1972 and a few years later went into the real estate business and spent 16 wonderful years with Ostendorf Morris and 12 following years with CB Richard Ellis, and I've been the principal broker with Moore Partners for over 10 years. As it turns out, our company only represents corporations and tenants and buyers. We do not do landlords leasing work, so you won't see signs around Moore Partners. And so about 8 months ago, my Chicago office contacted me and said, we have a need in the Lake County area for a Hertz rental car agency. Their lease is expiring at the end of January, currently located on Center Street, Route 615 in Mentor. The developer and owner of the property is not going to let them hold over beyond the term of their lease because they're going to demolish the building and redevelop the site. Many of you may know where that is. So it was a big rush to try to find someplace that was suitable for them, roughly 2,500 square feet. I looked in Willoughby Hills, East Lake, Kirtland, Concord Township, Painesville, and the Mentor area and examined over 30 or 40 different properties over the convening several months. And for one reason or another, nothing seemed to be appropriate We were focused on the Chase branch, which is closing down on Mentor Avenue. I think it's 1655 Mentor Avenue. They just closed September 1st. The ownership responded to an RFP with rents that were almost 2.5 times what the market rents were. People that are owners of bank branches like to get the top dollar, bank branches and drugstores. So Hertz decided to focus on this particular property that we're discussing tonight. And it was very complex because part of the property is in Mentor, part of it is in Paynesville, and the part that we're discussing is in Concord. It's unit number 10, which is an end cap on that particular site. So we've exchanged requests for proposals and letters of intent with Ivan Sokoloff, the owner. He is welcoming Hertz to his site. I believe that he submitted a letter to Concord Township indicating that he was in favor of this particular tenancy. And so now we need approval for the use, even though the use is not permitted in this particular district. This particular use is apparently all right in another district in Concord Township. So that's my story. We would like to get approval so that we can get a letter of intent signed and have a lease signed and begin construction to retrofit the space because it was a pizzeria and now it needs to be a leasing office. So a lot of work needs to be done on the property. Does anyone have any questions?
So it's gonna be occupying the, there's a former
Next to
restaurant that
Hallmark.
used to be there at the very end of that plaza, the Bed Bath and
It's
Beyond
been-
plaza.
Yes, it's the opposite end of Bed Bath & Beyond.
Okay, so you got Embers and
Been
then
there
the
empty
card shop, I
forever.
don't know if the card shop is still there.
Hallmark.
And then the restaurant at the end, it'd just be in that one, where the restaurant
Just
was.
where the restaurant was, that's correct. There's a lumber liquidators also in that center.
How many parking spaces are you, I think I saw it before, but how many parking spaces?
Well, Mr. Sokoloff has indicated, because Hertz wanted to park up to 25 vehicles on the property at any given time, he's given them 2 designated spaces in the regular customer parking area, and he's allocated, I think, on the drawing that you may have, it's called the limited parking area, and it consists of 22 spaces, and Hertz is okay with that.
So they'll only have 2 designated parking spaces.
Correct. There's ample parking in the site. There's an additional 20 or 30 parking spaces in the rear of the property, which don't ever seem to be utilized. But of course, any of those spaces would be available to customers or people coming in. They don't have a high volume of inbound people coming to the leasing office because what I didn't know until I started working on this project is Hertz mainly services people who have accidents and need a vehicle while their car is being repaired. They're not competitive with Avis and some of the other rental car Enterprise. Enterprise is probably the biggest in the area.
So will they have up to 25 cars like in those spots ready for, to be leased or to be rented?
I believe from what Hertz regional manager is telling me, that would be a maximum. But at any given time, several of those cars may be out. So on an average, they may only use 10 or 12 or 13 of those spaces. And the letter of intent that we've gotten to at this point provides for the requirement for Hertz to plow that particular designated area. And I believe because of the Bed Bath & Beyond lease that restricts certain parking areas to be used near their building, there is an exhibit to the proposed lease that indicates legally that Hertz only has the right to exclusively use those 22 parking spaces, plus the 2 that are designated on the map, on the site plan.
So it appears that those limited parking spaces fall outside of the Concord geographical area.
I don't have the map that shows the designated municipalities.
If this is correct.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It
hard to
looks
read.
like maybe part of the limited
So-
parking area.
Limited
got
area.
Massage Envy building and Froyo, these are the 22 spaces right here.
Yeah,
That's Menor.
yeah, exactly.
Heather, did we receive any comments from the city of Menor or Painesville Township in regards to this?
This was never submitted to them.
Okay.
Do we know if they allow the use?
That's Menor right there. It looks like there's probably
I'm not sure.
one or
Either
two
or
that are
both?
us, the rest are all
Do you know, sir?
I have not been aware that Menor has any jurisdiction over this particular site.
It's right there at that tree.
All right, but that wasn't my question.
Yeah. Well,
It's Kingsville.
if they don't have any jurisdiction over the site, there would be no reason to request any permission from them.
Still, I'm just curious.
I'm not aware.
Okay.
Okay. You guys have any other questions? Any questions over here? Okay, you can be seated.
Okay,
I think we're all
thank you.
set. Anyone else speaking for or against this appeal that'd like to come up? All right,
Goes like that. And that's kind of cool.
yeah. You guys good to close this public?
Yeah.
meeting? Okay. Okay, if there's no further questions, a public hearing for application, variance number 2019-52 is now closed to the public. I will entertain a motion to approve variance 2019-52.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all right. Open for discussion. I mean, my initial comment is that, I mean, that pizzeria's been gone forever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a small space, it's gotta be tough to find something that fits in there.
Last time, 2011, I think it closed.
Was that? So, I mean, great to see something fill in there. I think that parking lot, that whole area is kind of a little odd and unutilized. Maybe it's because it's got retail in front of it as well. The only thing, go ahead.
Sounds like there's a lot of space in the back, too.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's,
And there's a lot of space between there and Lowe's, too.
And-
Not that it matters, but.
and I know it doesn't fit, I mean, it's not allowed, and, we're allowing it, he's here because it's a use that isn't currently listed, but it seems like it could fit in this area. The only thing, the only suggestion or thought is maybe we limit, or just talk about limiting the conditional use, that if Hertzley use is still not, if somebody else comes in, if they'd want a conditional use for rental, they'd have to reapply. That's the only thing we might wanna add to this. Is that possible?
Well, it's, first of all, if you permit it, it's a use variance, so it's not a conditional use.
Okay,
So any consideration of a conditional use would not be appropriate. So the variance runs with the land, and it just is another in the series of uses that are permitted under the schedule, independent of this particular use. So unless somebody comes in with the exact same use, they're just gonna have to follow the permitted uses and the conditional uses under the schedule that's in the district, so.
okay, so there's no reason to. Alright. Anyone else have anything? No? Okay. All right then, the question is on approval of variance number 2019-52. A yes vote approves it, a no vote denies it. Heather, please call the vote.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes?
Mr. Dines?
Yes.
Mr. Bowling?
yes.
Mr. Hamilton?
Yes.
And Mr. Valente?
Yes. Your variance has been approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Next up,
I do want to thank Heather, who's been extremely helpful and professional in directing me with the proper procedures, and She's been extremely communicative. I mean, I've dealt in a lot of municipalities across, I spent the whole day in Westlake today. I've been at many council meetings in Westlake and Mayfield, and I have to compliment her on her extreme professionalism and helpfulness.
Okay. On the record, Heather.
Great.
All right, next on the agenda is the approval of our minutes from the last meeting on September 11th, 2019. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from September 11th, 2019?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Is there any additions or deletions to the minutes as written?
They look awfully good to me.
Okay. Then for the approval of the minutes from September 11th, 2019, a yes vote approves, a no vote does not. All in favor of approving the minutes as written, say aye.
Aye.
I abstain. The minutes have been approved. Our next meeting for Concord Township will be on November 13th. The meeting for tonight is adjourned. Thank you.